So I want to find out what your expectations are.
All right.
So I'll start with you, Joyce.
Oh, my good afternoon once again, Ma. Okay, in all sincerity, one of the things I look for in a man is the first thing, someone who understands me the best way. After that, someone who is God fearing. Then what captures all of it is someone who understands me, because that's where honesty, transparency, love, respect, all of it comes in that aspect. And the God fearing aspect is very, very important too. So now, as much as you understand me, you must also be someone who is for God and who is of God. Not just the me factor. The God factor has to be present in it.
Interesting. What about you, Yimika?
Okay, I think you have something similar, but I'll start with God fearing. He has to has the God factor in it because I'm a Christian and I'm also expected to get married to a believer, not just a Christian in quotes, a believer, a genuine child of God. And aside the God fearing factor, I still look out for compatibility in the sense that our values must align, not just necessarily interests, but our values must align in terms of integrity, in terms of purity, in terms of discipline, honesty, and other basic things you would expect a genuine child of God to have. Other fruit should be present in his life. So those are just two basic things I look out for in a man, I expect from anyone I want to get married to.
Wow. I think you are more. Understanding did feature in what they said as well, but you put it so eloquently that I want to find out how you arrived at this place, to be able to identify that these are important. And I did notice integrity, honesty, God fearing. I didn't hear that from the gentleman. God fearing. So where did all this come from?
All right, well, okay, to be sincere, for okay, I think that should be 2018, 2019, yes. I dated a Muslim guy for 4 years straight. And that's the reason, because I felt, okay, most of the Christian brothers I'm always getting, they're always having, the God, let me put it this way, so it wouldn't sound rude on the side. They have this believer, okay, fine, appearance of a thing. And I realized that it's not because at first I felt I was going around the wrong set of people, that I needed to work on myself. So I decided to change the circle entirely. And I felt, okay, if the Christian one wouldn't work, why not work with the Muslim one and make it who you want? So that was where I came with my own resolution. And I realized that everything for those 4 years, and still, it's still back to the square one. Then I realized that one of the major problems is the God factor that I feel is present. I only feel is present, not because it is really present, but just because I want it to be present. And I feel, okay, since I'm not really seeing it, I should be able to feel and, blend into the fact that since it's my feeling, I should be able to blend in the fact that it's present. So I dated a Muslim for 4 years straight, and I gave him everything except my wedding, which the Bible says we should keep the bed undefiled. Yeah, so I did it. I tried converting. In fact, successfully, I did. So I felt God was in it. But at some point, I just lost my peace. And one of the things that came to me is, you can't give what you don't have. You want someone who can understand, you want someone who can do this, who is God-fearing, who is this super transparent. Do you have all of these qualities? That was what the Holy Spirit told me. One faithful one, that was last year while I was praying. And I felt, choice, you need to re-sketch. You need to get your sketchpad, then explain your sketchpad, then re-sketch. There's something wrong. Fine, this guy, I converted him to a Christian already. So why is God still now bringing all of these things? So why didn't you tell me? I felt bitter, I felt broken, though. Because why didn't God tell me? The first year, he didn't tell me anything. It was not as if I was not praying. The second year, God, you didn't tell me anything. So when I successfully did this, why is it not now that I felt, I've gotten to my place of comfort? That's when you're now bringing this. So discouragement came from so many angles, and I felt it was high time I checked back on myself. And I needed not to work on my own factors again. I needed to really listen to God. Because I was only working on my own imagination, not God's plan for me. So it was looking as if everything was perfect with the picture I created in my head, not considering the God factor. So until that last year when I had to break a lot of things and I had to really go back to sit in place of prayer, then I asked God what He actually wanted for me, not what I wanted again. Whatever spec, let me put it that way, that I had in my mind or in my head, I had to put all of it, I had to put aside. Then I'll come to the basis of God. Okay, God, what's up? What do you want? So, and God, one of the things God told me is, get you, Emma, I'll make you meet my son who understands you best. And that has been more like my watchword since last year through now. God's son, who understands me best.
I noticed the God factor in your story as well. How did you arrive at that?
Okay. I said irrespective of the gender, either male or female, whoever does not have this personal reference or respect for God would definitely not have respect or reference for his fellow human beings. You have to get to a point where you should be accountable to God. You should see God as the supreme being. You should see God as the ultimate. So if I cannot see that in you, then I know that there's no way you would also respect me or you would also reference me when we finally get married. And I would have noticed all of that while cutting with you. And just, as I said, not necessarily being a Christian, because anybody can claim to be a Christian, but the fruit along the line would differentiate between a Christian and someone who's genuinely born again. So that God factor is one of the major things I look out for.
So the major thing you look out for, and that's the most important.
Not that I also mentioned compatibility in terms of value. Not necessarily interest, value.
Can you expatiate on that?
Okay, it's most possible that we have different interests, but we should still be able to, reach a consensus about it. Your interest might be different from my own interest. It's also possible that we might have similar interests, but I believe that as believers, our core value should be the same thing. So that's what I hold on to. As a child of God, I know that the married bed should be undefiled. So if I'm coming to you, if you're approaching me for marriage, I don't even expect. I tell people most of the time that I don't expect you or me to start telling you that, when we start dating or start cutting, we won't sleep with ourselves. I just feel like it should be a normal thing. It should be a normal thing between the both of us. So I feel that the moment you start telling me, I know some people do it, but as a person, I don't do it, except if you demand for it. And once you demand for it, it's a red flag for me. So I will not just tell you about either we're going to have sex or not. So I expect that each you need a child of God, it should be part of your fruit that should see. You don't need to ask me for it. So once you ask me for it, it's a red flag. So that's one of the values I'm talking about.
I'm sensing that from what you both share, that there seems to be an issue with the young men pressuring the young ladies for sex before marriage. Am I correct?
Yes. And especially the Christian brothers.
Yes.
Tongue-speaking brothers.
I agree with that.
In fact, you need heads, like executives. So.
Wow. That's major. So how do you work around that?
All right, so let me do this second first. Okay, I've had to personally break off so many relationships because of that. Because one of the things, like she said, is the moment we start bringing up the issue of sex, then I'm not safe from that moment anymore. So the moment you bring that up, and I feel, okay, I think once in a while I try to talk it over and, bro, this is not supposed to be happening. So why are we bringing this up? And I was like, okay, don't worry, we won't talk about it again. Then I think I went to visit, I can't remember. Either I went to visit or the brother came visiting. And the kind of moves were not just for me. So I knew it was just the right time to dissolve whatever it is we had. That was not the first, that was not the second, that was not the third. Even while I was in school, one of my fellowship keyboardists, strong speaking brother, very fervent. And I felt, I found a place of rest. God, just say yes. This person has all of the attributes that I want. This person is this, oh God. I love, this is the spec I want. I love it, this, Lord, please. So, and I realized that, like I said, it was just my own, it was just a infatuation. And boom, to just spoil it all. And this was like, okay, how long do you last for me? I was like, excuse you? Did you ask me that question? I was like, we need to get to know so that when we get married, bro, we are barely a month and you're asking me how long do I last on? Please, let's go back to place of prayer. I knew within my mind I already concluded that this is just the bye-bye to it. I just said, let's go back to the place of prayer. So many people like that. So for me, what I just do is, stylishly, I just pick it up, whatever we have. Go back to God, go and repray. But for me, I know it's over. From my own side, I know it's over.
When I had a conversation with the young men, they were majoring on respect and peace of mind. What are your views on that?
Well, for me, I think respect should be a mutual thing. If I respect you, you should also respect me in return. So if you respect me, I should also respect you in return. And I think everybody looks out for peace of mind. It's very important. For me as a person, there's no point getting married to you, and at every point in time, your thoughts in my head just brings this fear. And I've been in a relationship like that before, where at some point, initially when I prayed about it, I felt, okay, I had peace within me, I had peace within me. And after a while, I just started having these unease. Just sit there and just think about your lover, this kind of unrest will just come. And I'm like, why am I getting agitated? Why is it that I'm getting to lose this peace within me? Then I started praying again. I just realized that, okay, fine. Probably the peace I felt I had initially was, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's not from God, in quotes. Then I knew that, okay, it wasn't the perfect will of God for me. It's not like it's that bad, but I just knew that it's not the perfect will for me. So peace is highly important for the sake of my sanity and for the sake of my children as well. So there's no point giving birth to kids and their dad comes back home and everybody's running helter skelter. That is coming, that is here, and that peace is not there. Even in his absence, I should have that peace. Okay, my husband is so place, and I know that, okay, fine, he's safe, he's comfortable. Not like, I'm start thinking, who is with him? Where is he? Is he clubbing? Is he doing that? No. Peace of mind is paramount. So I would agree with what the men say now.
Okay. All right. Okay. From my own angle, I feel respect should not be commanded; it should be earned.
Yeah.
So when you get to a stage, or let me put it this way, what one of the things the men do is they want to feel this head figure. Yes,
Ego.
There's this ego in them that just wants to feel, I am the head, so you should respect me. It's compulsory. So I feel you should not really command that respect. When you respect me, it's just normal that I respect you back. So that's on the respect aspect. It should be on the mutual basis. It shouldn't be commanded. It's like me forcing someone who is younger than me to compulsorily call me auntie. The person sees me as an older figure naturally and sees this sense of responsibility upon me that I prefer to him or her. So naturally feels, let me respect this person. Let me put this adjective to this person's name. So I feel it should be earned, not commanded. Then the peace of mind, when there's no respect, there can't be peace of mind. When there's no respect, sincerely, there can't be peace of mind, because you always want thing or the other, and you didn't address me properly. You did, so it's moving from this fight to the other fight, to the other fight, to the other fight. So definitely there won't be peace of mind.
They said something like, it's easy for you to easy for women to display the respect outside, but once they're in the house, it's a different tug of war.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I think I had seen it several times where you see so many women, married women, kneeling down for their pastors, for their GOs, the way they honor their GOs and their pastors. Anyway, I'm grateful to God that we don't have such in my home church. I grew up in Equivalent Church, and we don't really have such in my church. It's not like we don't honor them, but there's no, it's not like this preferential treatment or high service in quotes. We don't have it. And some doctrines of other churches or denominations, they do that. In fact, the way they kneel down, and I'll be like, is it the way you people honor your husbands in the house? Like, that was the last time you actually knelt down to greet your husband. When was the last time you honored your husband this way? So I think it's actually true.
I think what they are also alluding to is the cultural aspect of respect, whereby some culture they will expect you to kneel for your husband maybe before you present the food outside. They want to be seeing the appearance of respect, or the cultural aspect when you are getting married and you are cutting the cake and you are feeding your husband and they said you should kneel down and give it to him. That's the mark of respect. So they're saying that yes, it's so very easy for the women to display that in public, but when they are in the house, it's like, you better take the food, please do it. You know what I mean? But when they're outside, they'll be, oh, my husband, oh, here's your food. But when they're home, it's a different ball game entirely. So that's what they are alluding to, that women can fake respect.
All right. I would, it's my own perspective. I would say what you can't and you better not start.
Yes.
What you
like that.
And you had better not start. Okay, for example, in my family, it's not because we are rude. We naturally don't. Okay, fine. At some point, my mommy will force us to kneel down on our both legs to greet my dad. You get. So, and in as much as we started growing, it became a culture that at times was just like, "Daddy, carousel." My mom would be the one talking. Then it got to a stage that it was like I would just wake up and maybe I sing prayer and I was just like, "Can I get a hug, Daddy? Good morning." So gradually, what am I trying to put in place is some of the things we're trained with and things we put in place, and we don't want to see, or I don't want to see who I'm getting married to as somebody I would so much fear, or that will instill so much fear in me that I can't joke around with. If you're enforcing on me that, okay, before I feed you, I have to kneel down to feed you. So sorry. If you want to feed me too, can you please prostrate? I'm not being prideful. Sincerely. That is just my own view. I'm not being prideful. But why would you have, there are other ways I could respect you rather than kneeling down. Rather than kneeling down to put okay, something happened to one of my friends sometimes. It was just so funny. We went to her house and the husband was not around. She didn't know he was not going to be coming back. And it was like, hello, Daddy, on the news, sincerely. I was like, do we still do that in this generation? Like, you are kneeling down when your husband is not around. Like, hey, you know, you have to satisfy this. And I was like, seriously? This is eye service. This is eye service of the highest rank. Somebody I want to get married to somebody I can be playful. And I'm like, okay, babe, your food is on the table. Somebody that would value me in as much that I value him. Somebody that will respect me. Not the eye service fact of, okay, I'm respect. It is normal that people will not want you to dishonor their partners outside. So they want to give you this ultimate eye service. But why do that? When you can be as much as playful outside, as much as you are inside. You don't need anybody, you don't need a third party's confirmation of what your home or what your marriage should be. So, but if it is when we are looking for the confirmation of the third party, that is when you'll be like, okay, let me respect my husband outside, whereas inside you're not doing that. But please, I feel the guys should also know that they should try as much as possible to also respect us, the ladies, so that the respect will naturally flow out from us.
From what I gleaned from that respect issue from the gentleman was also that they want the ladies to value their opinions, in sense that if, for example, if an issue crop up and you ask your friend what their opinion are regarding this, and they did advise on the issue, they would ideally want you to take that advice. In the sense that haven't reasoned together, haven't talked about this. Part of you showing respect is that you value their opinion. That even if you do not in the long term or eventually take on or execute that advice, at least you would show some sense of appreciation and that you value and respect their input in the situation.
Okay. You started you talking.
Okay. No, you go first. So it's my words together.
All right. Okay. The thing is, all of this respect of the thing. Okay, don't say it's inborn. And they are the things that one of the things that affect us most now is what we see our parents do. That's one of the things that affect us. So for somebody that comes from a home whereby the mother or the father doesn't need to seek the opinion of the other partner before they execute plan, it might be a bit hard for them to take that in. Then I feel there are ways you could put words down and they will see reasons. The other partner will see reasons to seek your opinion in whatever he or she wants to do, irrespective of whatever background she's coming from. So I think the thing is, you've not been patient enough to deal with it. Once they take their time, everybody can be the same. If we ask them, not all of the ladies they've dated have that same attribute. Not all of them. So our background really matters, but the way you place your words at times would make me determine if I'm absorbing in your opinion or not, or I'm discarding it.
Thank you.
Okay, like you rightly said, your background, your family background also matters. If you're coming from a family where either the dad or the mom is the bossy type, whatever I say stands, nobody questions me, I'm the man of the house. There's I tendency that the young man ends up becoming like that because that's what he sees on a daily basis. That's what he grew up saying. I feel that how to handle such things is that once in a while you can always chip in your own opinions. Okay, why don't we do it this way? But handling such persons does not come with you arguing with him. You come from very soft ground. Okay, I feel, what if we do it this way? The truth is, I think men are wired. At that point, it might seem like he's not listening to you. But after a while, they would also have a second thought about what you said. Like, okay, that's true. If I do it this way, let's see what happens. Then you have to be patient with such a person. You don't keep on imposing your own opinions. And also, ladies are smart thinkers. We think ahead of time. So I think most of the time, if your opinions most of the time ends up leading us to the wrong place. Maybe the first opinion you gave, I gave mine, you said, no, we are going this way. And where we ended is a bad place. You did it the first, the second, the third time. For someone like me, I would also impose my own opinion. Or better still, we don't do yours. Because I think you should also, like you actually said, that I don't believe it's all of the ladies they've gone out with or they've met are like that. Probably few of them. So you should also question those that are actually maybe usually going against their opinions. Let's also question them. What did they see before they got to that junction? That's my own.
So you think it's healthy for a couple to rub minds together? Absolutely. And everybody should have a solution, a say in when before a decision is taken.
Yes. And I also believe that there are times that a man needs to be firm.
Yeah.
because ladies can be very funny. We can also be manipulative at times.
It's true.
So for someone like me, okay, I didn't mention in that one of the things I sort of look out for in a man is above every other thing I look out for, you must be firm. You must be firm with me. I know I can be flexible at times, but I know something that I can put a feet ground I will speak on the ground, and this is how it should be, and I look out for that. So once in a while, a man needs to be firm with his own opinions and decision making in running the family.
Very well said. Yeah, in the sense that the men have to be strong, especially if you know that your partner has a very willful and strong. You understand her, so you have to know how to relate with her to get the best out of her. Thank you very much, ladies. I do appreciate what we've been able to learn from this conversation.